Well, good morning. Hi. So I'm going live again with a short art class again about how to do art while traveling. The reason I thought I would share these tips and ideas, I am going traveling tomorrow, so I was packing and thought maybe for some of you it will be useful, because it's not the when something is just part of our lifestyle and not a separate activity outside of our regular life, we learn faster, deeper, and it's just more fun to have stuff like creating art as part of everyday happening versus one time going to class. So again, I am explaining how to use the Art Completes You method. I strongly believe it's the fastest method, the best method to become an excellent and very confident artist who does not have all this negative self-talk and judgment. So who am I? I am reminding you, my name is Elena Zelenina. This book I wrote under my spiritual name, which is Shraddha Nityananda. Shraddha means authenticity and faith, and Nityananda means eternal bliss. I got that spiritual name from my guru, and the highest probably embracement of that name is the reason why I signed that book with that name. So please order it on Amazon. And as I told you, I am going traveling. I'm going with my mom. It's her 80th birthday, and she decided to celebrate it in a grand way of going to India. She is 80 and she lives near Moscow. So, I mean, it's going to be very exciting and very interesting for me to see how she reacts to this, to such a different culture. So it's going to be a very rich experience. And as always, whatever I do, my art supplies are with me all the time. So I prepared this, you see how neatly and rather small thing I need to carry. I will tell you how what I chose and the reasons for these choices. But before we start, I wanted also to give you some practices, exercises that you can do while traveling. So with Art Completes You method, we always look at two things. One is your skill needs to be better. So you can express what you want to express without limitations, right? We spoke about that, well, many times. So your decision on what you want to draw should come from your interest in the subject, not your inability to paint something else. So if you choose to paint animals, cats, it should come from, I also can draw people, I also can do landscapes, but I really, really love animals. Therefore, I'm painting them, right? So we need to keep building the skill so you are not limited to your artistic expression. And the second thing that we need to build is our inner image, is how you see you. Because they work very well together. If a person is arrogant, does not know how to do things, and at the same time thinks that he is great, that he still, by the way, can sell some of his art because of that confidence. However, might not reach people who this artist wants to reach. And if the artist only builds skill, then although the artwork itself might be phenomenal, this low inner image of I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I don't know who is going to be interested in what I am doing, will prevent this artist from sharing, from enriching the world with his or her art. And at the end of the day, we all are going to lose, because awesome artists, it's nice to discover them when they are still alive, when we can connect and listen to their stories and understand what is the thought process. So for you, both aspects are important. You have to be building skill, and you have to be dropping all your negative self-talk, right? So the exercise that I think is wonderful to do is the upside down drawing. I showed you this exercise, I believe, in the class where we talked about shapes. Here, yeah, so when you are, let's say you are on a plane, you are on a bus, you are on a train, you are in the cafe, I don't know, waiting for your meal, and you noticed a magazine or a newspaper. Look through and find something, the image that you like. And start drawing it upside down. Why? What is happening when you are doing that? Just reminding you. First of all, you train your mind to see authentically, not come up with shortcuts. Okay, I know it's an apple. Yeah, most likely it's a circle. Let me draw a circle. This is what happens, this kind of shortcut thinking happens a lot when people start their first steps in drawing lessons, looking at the real life object. Therefore, tricking your mind into thinking, okay, you are just going to see a line, and we are not worried about the final image. Yes, you're gonna, final images when you turn them upside down, look at them the regular way, are going to be better and better, and you will notice that you can actually see wonderfully whether it's upside down or it's the other way around. And upside down is much easier because your mind starts actually seeing versus giving you shortcuts. It also trains you to do something in a very supportive environment, because it seems for other people almost like a superhero task. So instead of thinking about the fact that you are judged and completed, and if you are doing this phase correctly or you messed up, you are just drawing a line. And people, if they are next to you, they are just watching you drawing the line. And that's all you want to do. So that's an absolutely wonderful way of, whenever you are, continue training yourself with your drawing skills. The next one is, once you see that you are comfortable and you are kind of comfortable with the idea that people are also watching you from all different angles, looking at what you are doing, and you learned to be okay with being a beginner, being okay with being that cool as learning to be an amazing drawer. You start looking around and maybe choose something that you want to draw, a flower, a watch. When you switch to that, continue staying in the space that you are still drawing lines. We will do a, again, realistic drawing class, but right now I only gonna give you a couple of tips for realistic drawing, because upside down drawing is very important and very easy to do when you are traveling. So I'm going to stick to that. So if you are comfortable and you want to try and switch and observe how much details you see in your phone, in the flower, in the chair, or somebody else's earring, remember just a couple of things for now. The distance between you and the object that you are drawing should be about 3 times the size of an object. So if you imagine a skyscraper, let's say you traveled and you're in New York or Shanghai or somewhere where the skyscrapers are, and you want to get the whole thing onto your paper, you need to be about 3 times the size of that building to be able to have a clear view and have easier time to putting it as a drawing on your paper. If you're doing something small, like a flower, again, same principle, 3 times the size of that flower from you, and sketch. Another thing, when you sketch from real life, and by that I mean upside down drawings too. So every time you are looking at something and you are drawing that, 70% of the time you need to look at the object, at the paper from which you are drawing, you doing your upside down thing. And I cannot stress this hard enough. 70% of the time, look at what you are drawing, not at your paper. And the last tip for that, if you noticed that one of the lines is not accurate, or several lines are not accurate, do not start erasing right away. Don't waste your time doing that. Because these lines that are not in the right place, they are there for that. They are telling you, find a better line. It will be a good idea for you to find some master drawings and just look through them, Michelangelo or Leonardo da Vinci drawings, and look at their sketches, how many lines they did before they actually found the correct one, and then they made this correct one very pronounced. So you do the same thing. You are drawing, not there, okay, so draw the right one next to it, and then move on. It's kind of like I noticed many times in the classes, if students start erasing the wrong lines right away, believe it or not, their new and supposedly improved line will show up in exactly the same place where before the wrong line was. So erase at this point is not necessary. But yes, at some point when you are done and enjoying your drawing, you erase whatever mess you don't want to see. Because sometimes too much pencil will interfere with the colors, etc. So no issues with using eraser after that. But while you are sketching, it's a process of seeing better, seeing better. Your improvement is in, have I seen better, more accurate lines? Okay. Okay, so that's all. So for your, let's say you are traveling, and I'm going to show you what I have. So you are traveling and you decided that you are traveling, and therefore you're going to have your art supplies like I do with you, and you want to continue creating art. So first of all, in the book, every page with exercises I put separately. So you can just take a photo of the exercises, have them on your phone, and all observation exercises, whether with the shapes, with the textures, with the colors, all these kind of exercises you can do when you are on a train, when you are in the, I don't know, at the restaurant, at the plane, in the airports. I love traveling personally very much, because it gives me so much time when I don't have to do anything. Someone is taking care of my meals, someone is bringing me things, so I can do what I love. I can draw, I can write. It's a lot of flexibility, but I come well prepared. So now, so that's first. So all observational exercises, you just can take a picture, or you can screenshot if you have a Kindle version, and you do these practices again and again and again. You remember about line exercise, doesn't need anything, you just start drawing the line, and whole bunch of upside down drawings, shifting towards some real life sketches, and don't start with grand things. Enjoy to see some small objects, get lost in some small objects, like I keep showing in the flower. Okay, so I carry this sketchbook, and I just carry until it's fully done, and maybe on both sides, I continue using it. And I like to be organized. I love loose paper, but then I lose them, so I like to have something sturdy like that, like a good sketchbook with a paper that can hold both, can hold different mediums. For example, the watercolors, right? Pencils. I am taking with me some pens because I like mixed media. So your sketchbook would be nice if it is kind of, the paper is versatile. And then I had this. So these are the traveling bags I accumulated over the years. Anyway, so I take several brushes that I'm going to use. They're all very light. And I know specific brushes I like. If you are just starting doing it, do not start with huge brush sets, because it's just confusing, and it's you need to learn how to use all of that. So just several brushes, 2 or 3 is plenty. And then get yourself some small, but maybe professional, not maybe, I prefer professional watercolor sets, because the pigment in the professional watercolor sets is rich. So you need less paint, and you can do from very transparent things to very thick ones. I like the small size. I think it was maybe like $25 or something like that. Maybe I got it on sale, I don't remember. So when I am done with the colors here, I will take my tubes and I add it to this set, so I don't buy new plastic all the time. I got it one time and I continue using it. The second thing that I use are pens. And in this case, I saw they were colorful pens, and I like to do, when I do creative things with colors, let's say I put watercolor as a base, let it dry, and then I use pencils and pens to do my lines over it, and when I process some idea or I want to manifest something, I use the pens. And of course, my favorite, I actually do use Prismacolor. I am not advertising that, but I just find that they mix so well. So I choose my favorite colors and I carry them with me along with sharpening. So that's all I carry with me. And there, I found that that's plenty. I used to carry charcoal with me, but then what was happening, I also like to be dressed nicely, and I have to speak sometimes and meet a lot of people, so showing up like with all charcoal over my face was not an option. So I stopped carrying charcoal with me, and I carry like this supplies that are manageable. So we'll repeat to conclude this class today. If you make the art making, art exploration as part of your life, not as a separate thing you do at certain times, the art will really open up for you. So we're going to do the classes, how to use this non-therapy classes, non-art therapy classes, to come out of any negative ideas you have about yourself, or to process deeply thoughts that are empowering you about life, compassion, love, friendships, all of these with art. So when you are traveling, contemplating the deeper truths while drawing allows you to stay longer with that deeper truth, and it allows you to let your whole body experience what it is when we say that everything is auspicious, what it is, how to complete with grief. Facebook today reminded me, I had a phenomenal friend who passed away a couple of years ago, and drawing her or drawing her spirit is also connecting to her, is also completing that part of me that is missing her still. So when you are traveling, even if it is an hour back and forth from work, I mean, granted, it's difficult to do on New York subway, but let's say it's a more comfortable way of travel, or you are not driving, or like me tomorrow going on an airplane. Have your kit with you and do this upside down drawing, observation exercises from the, cannot really suggest everyone getting the book and following the practices. And that's all. The quality of my art changed, and I never ever have to wait for this special moment to get to the studio, because my studio is with me everywhere I go. And I wish that for you as well. So remember, you are not a final product. Welcome you. And I see you again Thank you very much. Thank you those who joined. I really, really appreciate you guys. The book, I post the link in the post, so please get it. Please share the video with your friends and families. And I see you again. If you have questions, email me. If you have any specific topics you want me to show you something or to talk about, also don't hesitate to ask. artcompletesyu@gmail.com. artcompletesyu@gmail.com. Bye, guys.